They call wind Vili Vili in honor of his mother. We call it Makani. Because when we're with other groups and we say Vili Vili, they're not going to know what that means.
Right.
Only us internally know what that means. So
Right.
if I can rename it to the general name, but let everyone know what Aloha used to call it, then I think we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting, because I've been thinking quite a bit about names and the relationship between naming something and then embodying it physically, and then how you're associating it with your memories and your relationships. For Vili Vili, it would be a cultural, sort of a historical connection with place and the lineage as well.
Where she was born, where she was raised.
Right.
Yeah, the Ali'i side, the royal side of the lineage.
Right.
Yeah. Snow.
That snow was... Right.
Exactly. They get the snow, yeah. So snow kind of goes in this interesting pattern instead of like the rain just falling.
Does Hawaii get snow?
Up on the mountains, yes. Yeah, very much. Yeah. Yep. Like Mauna Kea is here, Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea, white. Kea is white, so snow. Poliahu is the snow goddess, the sister of Pele. They both, mythology, they comes into like actually the event. So I sit in quiet. I'll try to clear my space. I'll try to connect with Mother Earth and sometimes all of the planets. And that means dropping a tail into the center of each of the planets and connecting. In space, obviously, creating that bubble, and then creating direct line up. So you've got down and bubble. And so from there, I asked for protection and for guidance, and for leading if I need to adjust at any point, or if they want me to show something, and in a situation, let me know how to handle it, when and how, even if it's through silence or not. Guardians to ride with me and for protection. So front, behind, sides, underneath, and on top, going together. And then I announce as we descend or we're getting close, just to myself quietly, announce that we've arrived, our intent on why we're here, to work well with us, the energies of and the guardians of the land, sea, air, and water, even the mauna, the mountains too, depends on the topography. And announce, who I am here in the spirit, my name, in this lifetime, what I'm known as, why I'm there, and a hope for safe passage and for cooperation and protection, whether it's of the space where I'm lodging or where I'm teaching and traveling to and from, and the individuals that I'll be with. And then I pray for everyone that will be in attendance, that they will, have a peaceful morning, and that nothing will stop them from making their way to the event, because clearly they're being drawn to it for a reason, to bless them and their loved ones, and to bless the space that we're at, and to bless the time. No injuries if possible, and that revelation will happen. Giving thanks as I leave the physical venue. That's when I say guardians, I'm talking about very old beings that energetically have responsibility to make sure that the information is not misportrayed, misused, and that the integrity remains even after all of these thousands of years. So that's how I define a guardian.
How do you feel like, does it feel different? How does it feel to be in Hawaii practicing there?
Very different. And it was very intense, the energies around it almost, and I'm gonna speak kind of crazy right now, but this place is so alive. I mean, like, you get from the birds to the wind to the sun to the pua'a, the pigs that you hear. My musculature changes, the focus changes, It's almost as if there's a bubble that's created to where nothing energetically can come in. There's also spirits that watch. So there's a lot of those discussions that take place and what people feel when they watch Lua. For me, during the evaluation, I could feel that things shifted around. They almost became this encapsulated area in which I was moving and intense, you know, and it's hard to explain through words what that vibration that you feel and where you feel it in your body. So yeah, the Lua is it's pretty amazing to do out here. So here, the energy here is a really raw. It's really like in your face. And then you've got the old mixing with the new. So how that works, very, and the energy signatures that, you know, what has happened in a space, in a place, maybe hundreds of years ago. I mean, even like the battle, you know, like certain battles, like you could drive by a mountainside and just get that feeling. It may be eerie, it may be like, whoa, intense, and you're not really sure what it was. And then you understand there's been a lot of blood spilled there. You get to learn about what you're feeling there, tremendous loss or victory, or a combination of both. Maybe even feel what the Koa felt back then.
The waves are coming in or coming out, or if they were coming slightly diagonally, affecting how those strikes went with it, or just cutting through and making a space for myself as the water was coming.
Positioning, height, angle, and not leaving it there.
Yes.
Being able to work in the tide and bring it right back.
Vibrations I got off of coming off the water was it was very unique. It was a lot of times feeling something underneath and going, it's just a seashell. It's definitely just a seashell.
That's so cute.
Try not to
You'll
think
know
about
when it's from the night before when I was up very late, 3:30 in the morning, and I wrote it. I specifically asked for a pohaku, a rock that would be substantive enough, but not too much, right? Not more wahine or kane focused, where wahine would not be able to pick it up and move in the water, and it would be too light for the kane. So like something in the perfect size. And sure enough, in my 24, almost 25 years of running that area, I've never seen a pohaku just sitting there in the perfect size in granite. So it's not even supposed to be there. And so I think once I jumped into the sand and I took about 6 steps, there it was, and I just stopped and I was a bit stunned. And so you ask for certain things sometimes, and you trust that things are going to be a certain way, and then they surprise you. And
I'm fresh out of the water. We're gonna go back in a second. I'm wet. Very wet. My toes are tingly. I have salt water in everywhere. And it's great.
Now I have seen this. Now he named it mahi mahi. It's not actually dolphin. It's the dolphin fish. Yes, it's kind of a goofy puffer looking type fish, but I have seen it, but not in person. This one I haven't seen. So that's why we call it Naya. Some people call it Naiya. So it's just that's why I renamed it.
Right.
As we say mahi mahi, then people are like, the fish, and yes, obviously, but we're not going this way. We're going this way. So it made sense to make that adjustment. But I do tell everyone that he used to call it mahi mahi.
Right. So the animals, it's understand. If you think of the animal, it's supposed to help with understanding the
Movements, correct. Habits, metaphysical meaning of the animals, how they sleep, how they wake, where they stay. Do they run alone? Do they run with others? What are their strengths and weaknesses? Learning all of that.
Why an octopus?
No, it's actually Alohe. This is the confusion. So I've changed, he said change the terms and correct some things. Add the hula, add the Lulalomi, add the spiritual, you know, correct. And so what I've done is remove, there's three things, and there's some animals that we didn't have native to the islands. And I know it's because he was on the mainland and he was competing with Asian arts and was also in the tournament circuit to show how devastating the lua was. But first, let's talk about he'e. He'e in the culture is octopus. Alohe defined it as squid. Same thing, same movements. We break it down a little more in Nakoa, but I call it, I define it in its rightful term as an octopus. You've got the Aeko, which was the eagle. We don't have eagles, nor will we ever have eagles, except for at the zoo on the islands. There's no reason we need a couple moves to differentiate from the hawk. And the hawk is native to the islands and is the highest flying bird and does signify the divine feminine. Very important. There's no reason why we need to switch to Aeko. I've removed Aeko from the training.